can't be a psychologist, a counselor. Johnny has a nosebleed and a meltdown, and they are trying to teach. They love to teach. It's what they do.
You're watching news now from Fox. I'm Daytona Everett. We're going to cut into that really quickly because we do have a live report coming out of Wilmington, Delaware. That's where Joe Biden has been recently. We have Fox's Madeline Rivera, who's been following the team closely. Madeline, can we talk about what exactly that virtual roundtable was about and what Joe Biden's schedule is going to look like this week?
Hey, Daytona, and you heard a little bit about Biden's meeting, and obviously you were just airing it a few minutes ago, but just to summarize it a little bit for you, there were some emotional moments there. Biden listened to frontline workers, listened to what they had to say, what their concerns were, and Biden has been holding those meetings with healthcare workers even before he won the presidency. He was doing it throughout the campaign trail, outlining for you his priorities on the first day of his administration, which is getting the virus under control. But one of the things he talked off the bat was what he would do when he will take office in January. And one of the main concerns that he has right now is that the General Services Administration has not formally recognized him as president-elect, and that's putting him back in their COVID-19 response by weeks, if not months. That's what he says. He says he can't access certain information like PPE, the number of PPE for medical professionals, and vaccine distribution planning, which he says could ultimately cost lives. So that was the main thing, one of the main things that he addressed during that meeting, Daytona.
Madeline, obviously there were several frontline workers that were on that call, but we did not see Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Where is she and what's her schedule for this week?
Yes, so yesterday she was on Capitol Hill. She went in for a vote, and she said obviously she's still a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, a role that she takes very seriously, perhaps now more than ever, because Biden is still not going receiving classified intelligence briefings, again, because of the lack of a formal transition process. And so Harris has been filling him on that information. But tomorrow she will join Biden on a call, bipartisan call with governors throughout the country. And perhaps one of the things that they might talk about is mandatory mask mandates. Biden has said he wants to work with Republicans and Democratic governors to get them to enforce that in order to curb the rise in COVID-19 cases, Daytona.
Madeline, let's talk really quickly about this Senate race that's going on in Georgia. Are you hearing anything from the Biden team about sending any surrogates out there to help in that race?
Yes, actually, I read a couple of days ago that Biden might be heading down to Georgia within the coming months or so to help the senators there and kind of take back the control of the Senate, because obviously right now we don't know who's going to take control of the Senate, whether the Republicans maintain the majority or whether Democrats will have a slight lead. And so obviously one of the things that Biden has talked about on the campaign trail is working with Republicans and Democrats to get things passed. But if he doesn't have a Senate majority, that could be a little harder to do. It'll be hard for him to get some of the things he wants to see get done. So he'll be heading down to Georgia, at least that's what we know of for now, to kind of help the two Senate candidates there, the two Democratic Senate candidates there, Daytona.
Madeline, say it does become a Republican-led Senate. Do you see that becoming a difficulty for Biden and his team?
It could be, you know, it's obviously a lot easier to get things passed when you have control of the Senate. But Biden, again, as I mentioned, really wants to work with Republicans and Democrats. That's something he has touted as one of his skills during the campaign trail, his ability to reach across the aisle. So I think that's one of the challenges that could come, but it's something that Biden is aware of and something that he says he'll take into stride whenever he gets into office, Daytona.
All right, last question for you, Madeline. Obviously, we know that they're talking with governors tomorrow. Do we have any idea what that's going to be about? Obviously, likely COVID-19, but any specific topics?
I think it will likely be COVID-19 related. His team has not released a detailed plan of what exactly they will talk about. It will involve some governors from New York, for example, Arkansas, Maryland, Colorado. So a whole range of governors from Republicans and Democrats. And so I think obviously the biggest concern right now that a lot of leaders have is COVID-19 and curbing the spike in COVID-19 cases. So I imagined that might be top of mind when they have their conversation tomorrow, Daytona.
All right, Fox's Madeline Rivera in Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Daytona.
Alrighty, so you're watching News Now from Fox. We're bringing you all these live updates from across the country. That's not all. We'll have more for you tonight as well. Live reports out and about, talking about the election, talking about COVID-19. Lots of content to get to, but we are going to send some of you off to a 2-minute commercial break. We'll see you when we come back. We're going to, stay out there, and obviously she was in Delaware, but we're going to stay in Washington, D.C., but this time about COVID-19 and the restrictions going into place out there. For those of you who are sticking with us, thank you for watching News Now from Fox. We'll listen in on this update, and we'll bring you any live breaking news when it happens.